Well, good evening, my Teaserking family. I just wanted to report that we're back over the 5,000 as I thought we would be earlier, but China's got the bull now and they're off and running. Um, Silver got to 88. It slid back a little bit, but nothing too serious. So you can see all day US has it. And when we did class, it was 49 and change. It got up to almost 50 and 4,900. And then finally, China takes the ball and China gets it to 50-50. So 50-42 right now. And you can see silver back. It got to 88, now 87.63. So China's doing the buying because China does what China does, which is buy. So I just wanted to point that out. I know people were questioning, what's going to happen? Will it go? And there you go. Basically, the banks needed to dump or they'd go out of business. So the banks have dumped. Now it's gone. Now the banks have done it. They've got out of their mark to market on Friday. They've did a little bit more Monday. And now here we go. Now it's really Wednesday in China. So they shorted it on Monday. But now here comes China back. So China is doing their part by buying. Again, nothing changed in the physical world. The demand for this is huge. The supply, I got more than most countries have in just this 2-ouncer. You must have it. And the supply is gone. There isn't any, very little physical. So as these companies need to buy, all the manufacturers and then us who are getting out of the dollar as we need it, it isn't there. I'm going to go to my gold store tomorrow and check out what's going on with it. But that's the key to it, is what, high demand, low supply, price goes up. And that didn't change. And that's why I said it would go back up. I thought it would go back up Monday, but it went back up. Today's Tuesday night, Wednesday for China. So now we know that this is what happened, but this is the normal market. So the banks, what they did was bullshit, right? The banks sat there and they shorted it. So the shorts are normal. If you short and the price goes up, you're going to do margin calls. They do the same in stocks. Usually it's the other way. You bought the stock and the stock goes down and they margin call you. But in this case, they're shorting gold and the price went up, so they margin called it. That was perfectly what a margin call is. And that's what you're doing with options and derivatives is you're buying on margin and it's margin call. That's why it's extremely risky. And a lot of people lost their positions because they got margin called and they couldn't come up. So if you won on $100,000 in gold and you put 10,000 down, and now you needed another 10 grand. Did you have the other 10 grand? And if you didn't, you shouldn't be playing margin for 100 grand. You should be buying physical with the 10 grand. So that's really what happened. So now everybody has been washed out, but they had to sell. And if they're selling, the price goes down, then the algorithm kicks in. That's why you see such a drastic downturn. It's not all this JP Morgan crap and this AI bullshit, the wealth transfer. It's all it is people buying on leverage are idiots, and buying paper, you're an idiot. So that's all that was. So now we're back. You can see it hit the floor, 4,400 for gold, and now it's back over 5,000. Silver was 8, went down to 80, was 72 or 74, and now it's back to 88. Hopefully by the morning when I come on, it'll be over in the 90s again with gold back. Now gold was only 5,500. Hey, John C. Gold was only 5,500. So we're already almost there at 5,000, which makes you feel good because the gold's worth a hell of a lot more. So if gold tanks, you're in trouble. But if gold comes right back, then that's fine. So I didn't really lose money. My value went down on Friday and Monday, but now it's back up and I didn't sell. So that's the point. You don't sell this stuff. This isn't selling. This isn't profit taking. This is holding it because this has no value. And this still doesn't have any value. And it doesn't matter who, all of a sudden, it didn't matter who the Federal Reserve chief is, apparently, right? They try to use that. That was the stupidest thing I ever heard. But all of a sudden, everything's back up. So I guess it didn't matter who the Federal Reserve is or the dollar got stronger. All that is all bullshit. They're trying to like look for a reason, and the reason is the banks were going broke and had to dump the price to get out of the market. See, if you understand it, then you hear all the other bullshit and you don't pay attention to it. Well, I'm on late because I wanted to say that the gold went over 5,000 and went up to 5,050 and silver back to 88. That's why I'm on late. It's not a long video. It's just one to say, hey, okay, we came back just as I thought we would, because I said nothing changed. So in the physical world we live in, the supply and the demand are still there. Huge, huge demand, low supply. That never changed. So when you see these things, you have to understand why. It was the mark to market. The banks had to lower it or they'd go out of business. So once we understand that, then we understand what happened, right? And now you can see the normal physical market taking over. Hey, we need it. We need for the solar panels. We need for all these different things. We need to get out of the dollar. We need silver. So now we start seeing, yes, this is the normal. So if the banks did to do the market, the silver would be 150 and the gold would be 6,000 by now. And again, gold's going to go to 8,000 on its way to 10,000, and silver will go to 150 on its way to 500. That hasn't changed. It just was interrupted, and hopefully it doesn't keep getting interrupted. Now you think the banks are out, so you're hoping they don't keep doing this shit again. But this is the problem with the paper world and the Madoff banks. I mean, the banks are the biggest cheats, and they're the ones running the government. So with the banks and the government cheating, all we can do is buy physical and hold it and not panic and not sell. I watched one video where the guy was talking about a silver shop, and in the shop he said the people were coming in selling the silver. And I was like rolling my eyes going, why would anybody sell physical silver in this paper market that the banks had to lower to market? They weren't selling any gold or silver. The banks don't sell silver. They might sell the paper, but the physical they're not selling. And JP Morgan has a lot because he has to pay off the option. When they ask for delivery, JP Morgan has to deliver the silver. That's why they got a lot of silver in. They have 50 years of shorts they got to get off their books. Hopefully they got them off the books, or most of them. Some of them are probably at $30, $40 silver, which we're not going to see. We saw the bottom, it's like 75, 74, and notice how quickly now we're back to 88. And silver jumped back, and gold jumped back to 5,000. So that's the point of this video. TK, these people love Bitcoin. People don't understand it. They're doing it to make money. As I suggested, you're trying to make money, right? You get paid and then your money's just sitting there. So you're trying to invest the money and make money with it. So they find Bitcoin. They don't understand it. They don't understand it's a Ponzi scheme. These are the same people who were in Madoff. Keep that in mind. So they don't understand it. And therefore, because they don't understand it, they are, they're in it, but they don't get out of it. I showed you before, it was like 72,000. Thing will probably go down to 20,000 because it's not real. It's a Ponzi scheme. And it's the same thing with Madoff. A lot of people love Madoff, right? Only it wasn't real. And if he didn't go out, people would still be in Madoff, even though he never buys or sells a stock. He's getting all this money in, and it's just Ponzi scheme. I'll take your money and pay you. And that's all he did. And he got a lot of money in from Europe. And so he was able to pay the people, but they didn't really care what he was doing. As long as I'm getting my 15%, I'm happy. And that's where people get fucked. people are in Bitcoin and it goes up and they don't care how or what, they don't care if it's real as long as they keep getting the money. The funny part is nobody's making any money in it. Madoff gave you 15% a year, let's say, in interest. So you'd actually get a check. You were actually getting money out. Bitcoin, you're not taking money out. Unless you're highly intelligent and know how to gamble, Bitcoin goes from 80 to 100. Did you pull out money out of your Bitcoin? Probably not. Oh, it's going to go higher and higher. So nobody's pulling profits out. So really nobody's making any money in it. And now that it's coming down, you'll start getting some panic selling. But a lot of the Bitcoin selling is because people need money, because they got margin called on gold and silver or other areas, and wait till the stock market crashes and the Bitcoin will go to zero because people will need real money to eat on. So we'll keep that in mind. One quick thing with Jenna today, I told you her WhatsApp, it went blank, right? Her picture went blank. And I looked, oh my God, she blocked me, which really didn't make any sense. I mean, we're good friends. She wouldn't block me. She never has. And then after class, she came back on under a different phone number with a different photo. And I said, oh, I was worried, what happened? And she said, well, it's a new life because she moved to Germany. And she said, a new life, and I got a new phone. But because you enter a new number on WhatsApp, it kind of gives you a new WhatsApp, right? So let's say I'm the professor on WhatsApp, and then I change my phone number. There's no more professor. Now I got to come in as Teaserking or something else. So that's what happens on WhatsApp. So if somebody leaves, you think they blocked you, they didn't. It's just if they changed numbers, she had to then add me with this. So I was probably on her phone for both numbers, but she always used the first one. So once she went to the second one, then I started getting messages from her. And I said, well, I didn't know what happened. She says, well, I texted you. And I must not have gotten that text because I don't recall it. And then when I tried texting her in the morning, it didn't go through because she didn't exist. So maybe with the new number, she texted me, but I didn't see that, but I did see the new number. So anyway, that's all I said. It's all good. Fine. I was just curious. So she got a new phone. She's hunting for an apartment and a job in Berlin. So good luck to her. I hope she gets it. And we'll go from there. Anyway, so that's what happened. Just wanted to point that out. I've been watching the Seattle San Francisco playoff game, and then now I'm watching the Seattle Green Bay game when Green Bay blew a 16-0 lead. So I'm watching that just for fun to get ready for Super Bowl. But that's it. So just keep holding your gold and silver. We're not in it to profit take because we'd have to go back into this. Otherwise, normally we would take some profit in it. So like if we're playing poker or you're playing, sports betting, you're taking profit. If you play poker, you go with 500 and you make 500 and now you're at 1,000 and you leave. Yeah, you basically are profit taking that you made 500. But you're in dollar and you're still in dollar. So here's the big difference. We're in gold and silver, but we don't want to get back into dollars because that's the whole point. We're getting out of dollars. So therefore, we don't take the gold and silver out. And that's really the key to it. We are taking, we're not profit taking it. We don't want to profit take it, right? So that's the key to it. So, well, let's just say if we knew if now we need to sell an ounce of gold for $5,000, all right, we get 5,000. I'll go to my store. I don't think he changes anything. He just sees what the spot is and he goes with it. I've educated him, so he should know, but I'll go there tomorrow and just check on what's going on. I know, people probably came in to buy. I would guess the other day on Friday or Monday, and he's probably sold out. Or he always has these silver rounds. So we'll see what's going on with him. But basically, that's the key to it. Now, because it's global and BRICS, China's buying the shit out of it. Back up over 5,000, and we're getting close to 88. We did hit 88 with silver for a minute, went back down to 87.50. But I think when I wake, hopefully we'll be 90 or 89 on its way to 90. I got a feeling the U.S. will do more buying tomorrow, as Europe did. Europe bought a lot today. The U.S. it was kind of flat, but China buys. So that's the key. And that's it. So again, we're back. I know the one gentleman from India was all concerned. Oh, you said it would go up. It was 84, 85. And, I thought it would go up Monday. It went up today. All right. So now it's back to over 5,000, on its way back to 5,500, on its way to 6,000. Nothing has changed there. It's still, again, very high demand, very low supply. In the physical world, everything's fine. And a lot of countries are running out of silver and gold. They don't have it to sell, which creates a higher price, because people who want it will pay more for it because they have to have it, especially the defense contract, the defense weapons, the cars, the jets, the missiles. Whoever needs silver still needs silver. That didn't go away. And they will pay anything because it's a $50,000 plane, and they'll pay, $100 for silver, or it's a $50 million aircraft that needs silver. Silver's needed, and there's no, as Mr. Wonderful thinks, there is no substitute for silver. You have to have it. He seems to think, well, they'll come out with copper and nickel. These guys are smart. No, they've already looked into it. You can only use silver, and they've kept the price down for the defense contractors, but BRICS is winning the battle, and they need it, and they're not exporting it. And so we're fine. So basically, that's all I wanted to say was the gold that went back over 5,000, and silver, it's a slow climb. It went back to 84, 85, now back to 88, and China's got it. So we will see when we wake up. It's almost 10 o'clock here. So anyway, just the good news, and we'll keep going. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be at 5,100 and 90 silver, on its way back to 120, on its way back to 200, and gold up, going to 8,000. So this is why you don't sell it, because it's not near its high yet. If gold's going to 8,000, why would you sell it at 5,000? Because the banks are collapsing. The banks were collapsing is why they did it. So to keep the banks. Now, we don't give a shit about the banks, but we're certainly not going to sell our gold and silver with very high demand and very low supply. What did you think was going to happen to silver? Was going to go to zero, or gold? All right, they took their hit because it was paper, but now they're all coming back because now it's back to a physical world. So keep that in mind. So that's where we're at. Anything else? This was just a kind of a quickie, just to say $5,000 gold. So I wanted to point out we got back over 5,000. Let's take one more look at it, and then we'll head off till tomorrow. All right, so we're going to end it with silver 87.12 holding up, and gold at 50.43. So gold really hasn't moved. It was 50.50. It's down a little bit, but it's 10 o'clock. It'll jump. It just jumps. It just goes down a little bit. It jumps a little bit. It's all, who knows. And silver holding in at 87.12. Oh, that's fine. We're above 84, trying to get to our 90, which you will. But again, it fluctuates because it's all options. In the physical world, it wouldn't be fluctuating at all. And you can see how much it fluctuates, all these options. It's a very small market. So somebody sells, 10,000 options and moves the price, or they buy, it moves the price a lot, where gold doesn't really, moves a few dollars, but it takes a lot more. It's a bigger market. So that's why silver appears to be volatile. It's only volatile in the paper market. In the physical market, it will not be volatile, and it'll really run high because there's such a huge demand and there is no supply of silver. It's gone because they kept the price too low for too long, and nobody had silver mines because they said, well, I'm not going to make anything. It cost me $50 an ounce to get it out of the ground, and I can only sell for 25. So therefore, you didn't have anybody building silver mines. So now there isn't any. That's why supply is low, but there's not a lot of silver anyway. I mean, they've mined silver for 100 years, so there's nothing really left. There's no, oh, here's 20 tons over here. No, there isn't. And even the mines they have open, China and India and Russia are going to the mines, pulling the silver out of the mine. So even those mines are already being used. So no, it's very, very limited. And when you get that, demand hasn't decreased at all. If anything, it's increased. So we will definitely see silver in the $200 range on its way to 1,000. So keep that in mind. That's where it's headed. So if you see these pullbacks on the paper market because of the banks or don't want to go out of business, understand the physical $1,000 silver and 20,000. Well, let's call it $10,000 gold. So there's no reason to move away from those numbers, and there's no matter what the banks and the paper are doing, we know what the physical price is going to be. So did gold hit 10,000? No. Well, then why would you sell it? And the same thing with silver. Did it hit 1,000? Did it hit 500? No. So then why would you sell it? And that's really the key to it. So they're just playing games because the banks don't want to go broke. So if you understand that, you don't panic. You just sit back and wait like we're doing for the rebound, which is what we're getting. So with that, anything else? All right. Have a nice night. www.teaserking.com. I just wanted to point out we hit 5,000. And that's it. So I will see you tomorrow morning. www.teaserking.com. Have a nice night. Relax. We're going right back where we were and more. We got a long way to go up. So please don't panic. Again, don't get confused with the paper options and the physical. There's this many paper options and there's this many physical actuals. And we're looking at the physical game. All right. Well, have a great night. www.teaserking.com. Now you can relax, and we'll wait for gold to go back to 5,500, and we'll see silver at 100 very soon.